Welcome back, guys. Another day in paradise for Kim and George. But for you guys, it's another day at Fruitopia. Yeah, I've made a few videos in advance so that you guys can enjoy behind the scenes or, well, progress in autumn at Fruitopia whilst we're away, right? So you don't miss out on updates. And also, these are videos that I can go back to and enjoy whilst on vacation, and also document and record for myself. So this is the Japanese mandarin tree, which as you can see comes around late autumn, which is late May, and the month of June. That's when it's popping. That's when all the fruit is rolling down the driveway here, if it's not picked. And yes, we do get these issues with citrus here at Fruitopia. What I do is either leave it and let nature deal with it, or I just cut them off. I just go around and trim all these guys off, the leaf miner, right? It's not a big issue, not a problem. It doesn't affect the fruit. Well, it hasn't affected my fruit. As you can see, they're starting to turn orange. Right? Not a problem. Not a problem. This is the easiest mandarin to peel that I have. I got a second one here. That's two Japanese mandarins, right? So these are pretty young. This one's only 6 years old, and the other one that I showed you was about 7. And I think they're semi-dwarf. I don't think they're full-size citrus, but they sure are very prolific. I'm going to trim all these lower branches after it fruits this year, because I don't like this dangling and hanging business going on near the ground. We want to bring it up here, the tree, not under there. So even though we're currently not here when you're watching this video, there is still a lot of beauty here at Fruitopia, tropical beauty, with all the bananas that I've planted over the years, and I highly recommend that for any of you growers, right? Look at that. And it's not even sunny. We've had 3 days, actually this is day 4 of continuous. Look, this is why we leave. I want to show you why we get away at the end of summer. Look, this is the typical view out the window for not every day, but let's say half of autumn. Half of autumn looks like this, and over half of winter, 3/4 of winter is like this. Because some guy asked me, hey, why are you leaving that paradise? This is why. We don't like this. See that up there? We don't like that. I mean, I don't mind 1 day and 2 days, but not, what is it? 90 days of this. 90. Can you stand 90 days of this? Yeah, some people can. They just go inside and binge watch Netflix and start up the fireplace. I don't do that. That's not my cup of tea. I like to be in my sandals, in my Speedo, get my suntan going, and drinking coconuts. Thank you very much. And I'll skip the Netflix. Anyway, so here we are, guys. There's a nice big fat rack coming up. That'll be ready sometime in winter, around June, July, we hope, if all goes well. It's been scraping up against the gutter at night when we sleep, when it's windy, like dung, 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 dung. But, you know, I'm not a genius when it comes to construction and doing crafty work. I'm sure there's a way to stop that. So yeah, get your bananas planted and enjoy a big slice of the tropics in your own garden. Highly, highly, highly recommended. I got carried away, of course, and overdid it. The whole front garden here is going to be full of bananas in about 9 months. Well, they're already there, but they have to grow. I did this bed here 2 years ago. So in 2 years, you get that. That one back there I just showed you, that's 6 years. 6 years old, 2 years old, 1 year old. That's 1 year. Look, all that. And here, 2 months old, or 1 month old. That one's only a month. And this one's 2 to 3 months, right? So we're gonna have huge bananas in there and huge bananas in there to go with the rest of the side of the house here in the front. I'm loving the black sapote progress. Right, finally. We're about 2 months behind Sydney and Perth, and 3 months behind Brisbane when it comes to these tropicals, as far as growth and ripening. But that's all right. As long as we get the goods, guys, that's what matters, right? When is secondary. As long as they come. And boy, are they coming. Wow. Look at that, everywhere, triplets and quadruplets. And there's a nice big one up there. They're everywhere. So I'm really wrapped with the black sapote. There's over 50 of them. So look out. Look out for this over winter and its progress. I'm hoping to get it at least the size, at least the minimum size, the size of this Hawaiian Supreme white sapote. That's the size of the black sapote I got around 3 years ago. We've only had one fruit in all these years, and it was this size, like that, and it was delicious. So these take time to get going, maybe 7, 8 years here in Melbourne. Yeah, it's a long time, but you're doing stuff, right, in life, and whilst life is happening, that's growing bigger and bigger. So don't be put off by that length of time, because you're gonna be here anyway. The same with this pomegranate. First year it fruited, right? Look how small it is. 1 year and it's in a pot. Don't be deterred. Next year it might be twice as big. The same with the custard apple, atemoya. Don't be deterred by size. Yes, they grow bigger up in the tropics. They grow quicker. Right? Everything's easier up there until a cyclone comes and knocks a tree over. But until that happens, wow. So there you go. This is only the early stage. We still have another 6 months of growth. So in 6 months, this here will be 3 times bigger, maybe 4. They get really big, right? And I'm gonna see growth on the tree as well, which is what's currently happening. Autumn is summertime for ate moya, cherry moya, and starfruit, and black sapote. Right? This is when it's happening, when everything's hopping. During summer, these are just coming back from winter dormancy. So not much happens during summertime here in Melbourne. In the tropics, it's different. In the tropics, these are going crazy in summer. Not here. Nothing is happening here in summer with custard apple. Autumn. Autumn. And I'll show you my Glen mango next. It's grown really nicely. Look at the size of those leaves. Oh, there's a fruit. That's the only fruit we got this season. Look at the height. Huh? Wow. Can you believe it? But once again, remember, this tree is almost 8 years old. Yeah. It's going to be 8 years old this year in 2022. And the stem, or the trunk, is only 2.5 inches. 2.5 inches. Yeah, almost 3. It's not much for almost a decade, but that's how things work here in the temperate climate. So guys, I remind you again and again to get planting soon, especially if you're young. If you're in your 40s and 50s, it's still not too late, but you're gonna have to wait till you're in your 60s to enjoy the fruits, the spoils of your hard work. So that's why I'm focusing on people in their 20s and 30s. I started at 36 with cherries and apples, and 10 years later at 46 I planted my first tropicals. Yeah, so I started in my 40s, you could say, with tropicals, and now that I'm almost 60, I'm getting my second mango. So guys, you can also plant tropical ornamentals like this Michelia alba to bring that tropical essence and fragrance to your garden. I come out here every day and oh yeah, oh my gosh, soak in that sweet nectar of the tropical beauty. Yeah. The same here with the bougainvillea. And thankfully these tropical ornamentals are hardy enough to go right through into winter. They don't get set back until the end of winter, around July, August. That's when they like say enough is enough. I can't take it anymore. But the good news is by then the early spring flowers start coming. Yeah, so these call it quits at the beginning, middle of July, and the early spring flowers arrive late July, early August. So it's a perfect transition from tropical beauty to temperate beauty. Yeah. So that's another tip for you tropical lovers. All right. So let's go in our little banana circle here, which is also very tropical. We have cardamom or false ginger, bay leaf or laurel, and tamarillos that are ripening. But these won't be ready until, well, they start falling at the end of April, May, June, July, and August. Yeah. So late winter and early spring. Let's grab one. These are not ready, but I'm gonna grab one anyway because I can. Just because I can, guys. It's nice to be able to have your own slice of heaven and not require permission from anyone. Let's take a bite. Oh wow. Look at that. Yeah, it's not ready yet, but the temptation. The temptation that's coming. Yeah, it's a nice preview. I'm gonna suck on that. Wow. It just popped in my mouth as I sucked on it. Wow, that wasn't too bad at all. These are like 70% ready. Well, it tastes like it. They don't look ripe, but it sure tasted close to ripe. And another thing I want to also remind you about and encourage you, don't be put off if your banana plant decides to fruit and do this, right? Look at that. We only get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 fingers on this baby. And a tiny little blossom. Well, that's because I never feed it. I never feed it except mulch, right? From the ground and from in there. And from the strips of the plant itself. I never give it any fertilizer, just mulch. So, what do you expect? I never water it. So, that's what you get if you don't give the banana everything it needs. And the root system is probably all in a knot, right? Root bound. Remember, this is 6 years old, and I haven't changed the soil in 6 years. I don't know what's going on under there. But the point I'm making here is, don't be discouraged. Why? I'll show you why. Because right over here, we have that rack. It's not a big rack, it's a small rack. But it's a lot better than what you just saw, right? See those nanas? Nice. They'll be ready in only a month. Yeah, sometime in May to harvest. Yep. Wow. That is, if it decides not to crack and split and collapse before then. There's another view of the cardamom plant, which is also 8 years old, and tamarillo from behind. Okay, let's get out of here. So, what else can I show you guys whilst I'm still in Melbourne? Well, actually, I'm not in Melbourne. I'm in the tropics. But this is a bit of trickery with the camera, right? Where am I? Am I here or am I somewhere else? I'm actually somewhere else when you're watching this. We decided to take off, and just a short trip, just to get away from the everydayness of Fruitopia. Looks like we have a fig. Come on, come on. It's not fully ripe, but it doesn't matter. I'll get it before the birds do. This is an easy target for the birds. Yep. Needed 2 more days. It's alright. I'll still enjoy it. Sometimes I bag him when I feel like it, but most of the time I don't. Just too lazy, guys. For the 10th year in a row, the star fruit tree has decided not to flower or fruit for us again. Ugh, man, you got to be so patient with these. And I see so many people growing them, star fruit, carambola, in similar climate to where I am, maybe a little warmer, like Sydney or Los Angeles, and they get fruit within 2 years. Blows my mind. 10 years, nothing. I mean, it's so established. I mean, what more does it want? Gosh, I even mulched it with the lawn clippings, right? And fertilized it and watered it and so much more. What on earth else does it need to fruit? That's why I went crazy and bought 5 different varieties of star fruit instead of being stuck with this guy for the rest of my life. I got 5 different varieties, so we'll see what the other varieties have to say for themselves. This is a Thai night, and I decided to get a Kerry, which also hasn't fruited after 5 or 6 years. Street Kembangan, which is only a year or 2 old, 2 years old, looking good, but still no signs of flowers. And a couple of others. Right now they don't come to mind, but 5 to 6 varieties. Let's see what happens next with carambola. Still waiting for these red daccas to send out flowers. It's also been an incredibly long wait, right? But part of the wait, part of the fun is waiting, guys. It's part of the fun. The waiting game. Just like when you wait to have a family, right? Well, this is my family. And I've done nothing but wait for results. Not on everything, of course. With oranges, there's no waiting. They're instant. With pomelo, instant. And of course with all the stone fruit, first year results. But with these subtropicals, 10 years. Just be aware of this when you start your tropical fruit journey. And the longan is even worse. This is another 10-year wait. Well, this is only 5 years old, but in 5 years, it's only up to my chest, almost at my shoulder. And it still hasn't fruited for us, except when it does this. It gives us this little tease. Here, I'm going to tease you with this, and then it's going to drop. It won't eventuate. So, 8 to 10 years on longan. And I got another one there I planted last year, just in case there was something wrong with this one. And I got that advanced. It was already 4 years old. Right? And that's also holding little fruitlets, which won't do much this season. So I'm going to cut it here, guys. If you want to watch more of little odds and ends around the garden, please come back for the next video during our mid-autumn getaway to the subtropics. Please also join us over at Real Life Funtopia, where we're having fun, right? Doing what we enjoy, being by the sea. And don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. And we'll see you from the next video, guys, coming up soon. Thanks for watching.